So do I just, yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Doug, and
Hey, Doug.
well, I'm here, so
You count if you don't say it.
okay, all right. Well, yeah, my name is Doug, and I have a problem. Hey, I'm Doug. Welcome to Backcountry Pilgrim, a channel all about hiking, camping, backpacking, and the gear that goes with it. Today I am going over a new backpack that I recently received from Waymark, and this is called the Mile. The Waymark Mile is a new pack that has been redesigned. This is the 2021 version, and it has been getting a lot of reviews on YouTube, and for good reason, because this thing is really great. It's basically a day pack, or what I would call an all-day pack, that is designed according to ultralight thinking and the kind of standards that somebody who does ultralight packing or makes packs for ultralighters, but wanted to make something that is more in a day pack size. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't use it for an overnight, but you would have to have your kit pretty dialed in and pretty low weight to fit in a pack like this, because although it is listed as a 28-liter pack, as near as I can tell, that's only if the roll top is all the way open and just clipped at the very top. But you would probably do better to think of this as a 22-liter pack, because when it is rolled down, the dimensions are 18 inches high, 11 inches wide, and 5 inches deep, which translates to about 22 liters for the body. And then you get an extra 6 liters in the front pocket and side pockets. So the Mile is not a huge backpack. In fact, when this was shipped to me, it came in one of those white bubble wrap envelopes. It was hilarious. I didn't even know if there was anything in it because it weighs so little. This backpack, which can hold a max of 28 liters, weighs in at only 16 ounces. This is 1 pound. So one of the things I like about its size is that this is so small when it's rolled all the way down that I can actually just lay it inside my luggage that can go in an overhead compartment of most standard airlines. And not only that, but it fits as a personal item under the seat in front of you if you're looking to travel that way. And a big part of that is the configuration. This isn't your kind of rounded, dome-shaped backpack. It's very rectangular, squared off in shape, and so it actually fits into more angular compartments very well. Now, I said that the Waymark Mile weighs about 16 ounces. That is coming straight from the factory without any optional accessories. When I got mine, I actually requested that all the accessories be included because I wanted to review all of them for you. And it turns out that if you get both of them, you add about 2 more ounces to the pack. So this is an 18-ounce pack the way I have it set up. All right, so let's take a tour of the Waymark Mile from top to bottom. I'll go over the accessories and talk about how it performed on trail. So starting from the very top of the pack, it does have a good carry handle. It is, as you can see, a roll top enclosure on the top of the bag. And that's nice because it tends to keep the water out better, and it allows expansion if you need a little extra room. Now, as far as the roll top goes, you have 2 straps that secure it, one over the top here and another one here. This does not have the side clips. You can only secure them over the top. Also note that the top strap is not super long, so you're not going to get a bear canister or anything on top of this pack. However, you could maybe get a small half sleep pad or something in there, rolled up on the top, maybe a tent, poles, that sort of thing, if you were looking to store something on top. Once you have unclipped and unrolled the bag, there is a Velcro enclosure on the top. However, it is a really nice, quiet, and non-snagging version of hook and loop. So although it gives you a nice enclosure and lets you line it up easily for rolling up, it's not going to snag on any clothing that you pull out, and it's also quiet enough that if you had it somewhere where you didn't want to be waking people up, not too bad. And the inside of the bag is just a big sack. There's no hydration sleeve. There are no hydration ports. It's definitely not designed for carrying a hydration bladder. There is no organization inside the bag whatsoever. On the front of the pack, you have one of my favorite features, which is this small organization pocket that is sealed by a YKK aqua zipper, so it is water resistant. And the pocket is fairly generous. I can get almost my entire hand in here, and the width is almost exactly that of a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. You can kind of tell hikers design this. The pocket may not seem that big when you first have a look at it, but it actually has quite a bit of space. All of my electronics easily fit right in the pouch with no problem. And this is just a super convenient place to keep little ditty bag kind of items, keys, wallet, that you want to have access to, but you don't want flopping around. And because it does not have a lid or a brain on it, it's so great that they included this extra pocket here. One of the other things I really like about this pocket is that inside of it, there are 2 small organizational pockets. When I am on trail, I like to use this Ultralight water-resistant case for a wallet. I'll put a link in the description below to all of this gear, by the way, and it just happens to fit perfectly right inside one of those pockets. So I've got my wallet here, I've got my keys here, I still have room for park passes and that kind of thing. I can get my electronics in the bigger pocket, zip it up, and if this is sitting next to me in the car, I can get to this stuff very easily until I'm in the park. And while I'm hiking, if I need something, I know that I can just take the pack off real quick, unzip, and have exterior access to it so that I'm not having to go through the whole roll up and roll down procedure every time I want something. On the front of the pack, you have a big Lycra stretch mesh pocket, pretty standard, non-snag material, very stretchy. You also have 2 trekking pole loops. The poles are then secured to this piece of removable cordage on top. You're not going to have access to those poles on the go as you do with some other packs. However, it's nice that this is here. Very lightweight solution to having somewhere to put your trekking poles if you don't need them for a particular section of the trail. Okay, moving to the side, you do have 2 compression cordages, both sides, and these sync up well with these nice big pockets. Now the pockets here are interesting. They're shaped in kind of a U pattern, so they're easy to get bottles in and out. I have a standard 700 milliliter smart water bottle here, and you can see it goes in very easily. Retention is going to be fine with this unless you go completely upside down. And if you do go with a full 1-liter bottle, the collar falls right exactly where this piece of cordage is. So when you pull that down, that bottle's not going to go anywhere. You have identical pockets on both sides. Okay, so speaking of water bottles, let's move around to the front. First, I want to show you this pouch. This does not actually come with the pack. This is extra. But this is Waymark's shoulder strap pouch. It's got a strong elastic band and a little thumb loop here. And this is the perfect size for smart water bottles. Bottle slides in, and it's going to hold it very securely. I have carried 1-liter bottles in this as well. And although it sits a little high, I think I'd probably move this down a bit. It does keep them secure. It's not as easy to get the 1-liter bottle in and out, but it's not going to fall out either. The shoulder strap pouch is attached via a Z-clip to the strap's daisy chain webbing, which I really appreciate. I think that it should be like a law that all backpacks come with daisy chain loops on the shoulder straps. I use these for a lot of different things, so having that Z-clip pouch on here is great. On the other side, you have 2 elastic bands to keep it from flopping around. This has been really nice to have. The shoulder straps are 2.5 inch wide by 1/2 inch thick foam. That is plenty for what you should normally be carrying in a pack of this size. They have this clever attachment that is actually via a little strap that is sewn in, and that gives these a lot of motion potential. And because you're going to be carrying this bag more like this, behind you rather than up on top of you like a full-size pack, these straps are very secure and they give a lot of motion. You'll notice there aren't any load lifters or anything like that. Again, unnecessary on a pack of this size and the pack weight you'd probably be carrying. But these I had absolutely no trouble with. They're very comfortable. You do have a sternum strap that is adjustable up and down the daisy chain, and you do have a whistle clip. So nice sternum strap situation there. You'll notice that the pack does not have a hip belt. Now, if you were going to use a hip belt on a pack this short, you'd have to have like a 12 to 14 inch torso, which not very many people do. However, because this is not a pack that relies on a hip belt for weight carry, torso size doesn't really matter a whole lot. However, if you do want a hip belt, or more of a belly belt for most of us, for extra stability, that is the other optional accessory. So Waymark does sell a Z-clipped hip belt. It is removable, obviously. So you just clip this in to the loops on the side of the pack, and that allows you to have some extra stability. And if you tighten it up enough, it can actually lift the pack off your shoulders a little bit. Not something you're going to want to sustain for very long, but it is nice to just have that little extra bit of adjustability when you're on the trail in case you start to get uncomfortable, muscles start to get fatigued. It is kind of nice to have a little bit of an option as to where you can move that pack around. Another option to use with a pack like this instead of the hip belt, or in addition to the hip belt, is a small fanny pack. And Waymark has the Zip Pack, which is an X-Pack material, same thing that this backpack is made of, and a YKK Aqua zipper that actually clips into this pack as a fanny pack, but also as kind of part of a hip belt. The pack body is made of X-Pack material, which is a naturally water-resistant material. It is very lightweight, but it is a little less crunchy and papery sounding than some other materials, and it is also a bit tougher. So while you may be having an extra ounce or two of weight, this is not just some paper-thin ultralight pack. This is something that is going to go the distance and be able to stand up to a bit of a beating. So that concludes our tour of the Waymark Mile pack. It is fairly simple. I really appreciate the organization that it has because you've got obvious places for large things, an obvious place for small things, obvious place for wet, stuffy kind of stuff, and you've got your pockets for bottles and trash and that kind of thing. I have really enjoyed using this on the trail so far. I am taking it on my Red River Gorge trip this weekend after I leave the conference that I'm at right now. In case you were wondering why I'm doing this video in a dorm room, it is because I am at Franciscan University at a conference, and I am going backpacking with some other YouTube buddies. Mark goes hiking as the crow flies. I think John Kelly's going to come out and say hey. So this is going to be a really cool trip. I mean, you're just not really a hiking YouTuber if you haven't been to the Red River Gorge. So I am glad to be checking that off the list. And I'm going to be taking the Waymark Mile with me. However, this will not be my first trip with the Waymark Mile. I most recently took it on a very hot hike of the West Side Railroad trail that I went to in Tuolumne City, California. That was actually this pack's maiden voyage. And so I just loaded it up with a whole bunch of stuff and took it on a 10-mile, extremely hot hike. And I have to say, I was super impressed with the performance. Now, the back of this pack does not have any ventilation or anything because, like most ultralight packs, it's just going to be right up against your body. There is a thin foam sheet inside here to keep a little bit of cushion between you and the stuff in your pack. I didn't have any trouble with comfort whatsoever. And in fact, as hot as it got over 100 degrees, I still was fairly comfortable in this pack. My back never really got super heated. Of course, it was very sweaty when I took the pack off, but that's not really the purpose of ventilation. You're going to sweat no matter what if you're working hard, but it is nice to have a breeze that can go through there and let the sweat do its job. With packs like these, you're just not going to get that. If you're looking for ventilation, you're going to have some kind of structural system in the back that pulls the pack off of your body, and that's going to cost you weight. It's also going to move the heaviness of the pack away from your body, which is actually going to make the pack feel heavier. It's going to jostle around more when you move. It's not going to be as stable when you're climbing or trying to go under things. This pack just becomes a part of you. It seals tight, especially if you're using that hip belt and the sternum strap. I mean, I was going under trees and bushes and all kinds of stuff, and the pack just rode so nice. It was like it basically almost wasn't even there. So if you are looking for a backpack that is small enough to fit even as a personal item on an airline, but big enough to possibly do an overnight in, certainly perfect for an all-day hiking pack, that also is built with ultralight sensibilities, built by people who are backpackers and who know the kinds of equipment that backpackers like to take with them. This pack really feels like it was made for us. It was made for people that use 1-gallon Ziploc bags. It was made for people that use little ultralight stuff sacks. It was made for people that carry smart water bottles. The Waymark Mile is the best example of this that I have seen, and I am super excited about it. It runs $139 full price on Waymark's website. I absolutely love the pack so far. I really, truly love it. And my only big question now is what pack is this going to replace? If you're looking for something a bit more traditionally designed with lots of extra pockets and zippers and straps and cushion back and all that kind of thing, my go-to pack is still the Montane Trailblazer, which is similar in capacity, a little bit bigger than the Waymark Mile, but it's going to be hard for me to choose that pack on very many hikes anymore because this is so comfortable and so lightweight, and the organization is just perfect for the way I hike. I think it's got it beat. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you got any value out of it, would you mind clicking that like button? I'd appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, you can click that red button down there. And if you click the bell also, you can let YouTube know that you want to know all the videos that drop on this channel. Till next time, I'm Doug. Thank you so much for watching. Ooh, dang. You gotta really trust your grip.
Yep.